I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, everybody? What's up? Come on in. Listen, I am trying to decide whether or not to even keep this up because I think people are burned out. I think that people may be burned out. So I am just going to take a poll on whether or not you guys actually want to move forward, because I also need my sister here. I was trying to see if she was able to come in, and she was not able to respond to me. So come on in. Let me see how many I can get of y'all, and I will decide whether or not to even move forward. We could talk about something else. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Okay. All right. So yes, I am. Let's see. Okay. Hello. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So listen, Melody did a super long live yesterday. I think it was almost 3 hours. And a lot of people have been talking about it. I was going to share my thoughts on it. I was actually going to break it up because I was like, I don't think that people have, the space to get through all of that live in one setting. So I was going to start with Trisha and Kimmy. I was just going to take it, break it up, then move it into the next group of people, just to see who has an appetite for it. Because Melody basically pulled the trigger yesterday, child, on a whole shitload of things, but mainly it looks like she was telling her boss that they could that they're going to have to make a move. Okay. A lot of people have been talking about, they love to compare what happens on Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reality show, to corporate offices. A lot of people know that if you do this at your corporate office, there would have been a whole lot of stuff that happens next. But I was bringing people in to talk about Melody and Kimmy and Trisha first, okay? So come on in. First of all, I should have asked y'all if y'all could even hear my voice, okay? Happy Thursday. And if you can hear my voice, the sound of my voice, please drop your city, your state, your country, your island, wherever you are from, into the chat so I can give you a quick shout out. And then we could talk about some of the things, okay? Just to make sure that you guys are all on the same page. All right, what's up? I do want to say welcome to my moderators as well, because y'all know the moderators volunteer their time, child, to be with us. So what's up, Cookie from the Shy? Thank you so much for stopping through and joining. What's up, Cheryl the Pearl? She is from Ohio. Thank you so much for joining. Those are the two that are here. Anybody that you see with a wrench behind their name, because they could come in slow, just make sure that you be respectful. We would like a respectful group today. Every day, really. What's up, Monica? What's up, Layla? What's up, New York City? Come on. I've been looking for what she said about Trish. Well, we're going to talk about it, okay? What's up, Florida? What's up, Louisiana? What's up, St. Louis? Y'all know I've lived in a little bit of everywhere. South Carolina, Boston, what's up? Euclid, Ohio. I used to live in Euclid. What's up, Barbados? What's up, Brooklyn, New York again? She said Triangle area, North Carolina, Houston, Georgia, Arizona. Okay, well, you can clearly hear me. Okay? Thank you guys for coming in, stopping through, showing support. Whew. All right. Listen. So I have been reviewing this season, right? I had a whole review that went up on Saturday. Not Saturday, my bad. On Sunday, that went a little long, but I said, listen, Melody, this was one of the best seasons ever. Melody, I thought did a great job. Not a whole lot was centered around her and Martell. In my opinion, at least she didn't give it energy. We know at the beginning of the year, for 8th season, she came in, she was showing her security team. She said Martell is unhinged. She doesn't know what's going to happen next. And then she started talking about her friendships with people on the show. And I thought it was just a continuation of the friendship conversation, which it did happen to be. But I actually like that Melody was inserting herself into the group as opposed to the group inserting themselves into her business. So I enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of resolution. There was conflict, but listen, reality TV is conflict and resolution. It is about the dynamics of relationships, whether it is marriage or friendship or, enemies, whatever it is, it's the dynamic of it. And so when people are watching, the reason why you're watching is you're trying to see, that's not how I would have handled it. I think this is BS. Or yeah, I think that she handled herself great. I actually agree with everything that she's saying. How can you be respectful to this group of people? But I will be respectful. Well, I hope so, Larry. I'm not sure why you wouldn't be respectful. Thank you, Ebony. Hit the like button, everybody. What did I tell y'all at the beginning of the year when I started coming on live? I said that I needed to show my face, child. So that's what Here we go. Okay, so I got on my big brim, my wide brim hat today, and I'm wearing Shaka Khan, the incomparable, living legend, Shaka Khan. Okay. So anyway, that has always been my take on the season. So I'm not going to change anything up based on what I heard. That I said all of that to say, I understand that she said she didn't watch the season. Melody point blank said, I didn't watch the shit. I didn't watch it, but based on my experiences while filming, she said that, she believed that she was the villain and some other things. And I was like, oh my God, you weren't even the villain. You were like, in my opinion, again, I'm not changing things up. This was my feeling the entire season. So if you've been following me since season 8, how I was rocking it, and at the beginning of season 9, I actually said I honestly thought that this was a great season. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. I thought it was a great season. I thought that she did excellent. I thought that she carried bones. I thought that she did. I was like, baby carried bones. She did what she was supposed to do to get them scenes started. What I told y'all the other day when I talked to you about that little reunion clip in regards to Melody and Kimmy, let me toot my damn horn. Okay, toot the horn on their ass, Greg. Toot, toot, beep, beep. Bam. What did I say? For those of you who watched that, what did I say in both my review and the clip? I said that Melody didn't want to do it. I said there was something about Melody's face when she was doing this scene where her eyes were pleading, like the words that are coming out my mouth wasn't what she actually was feeling. And I could see it. Y'all, I used to manage personalities for 20 years. Okay, 20 years. Personalities, because that's what you do if you're managing people, right? If you are a manager, okay, I was HR, hiring, firing. You manage personalities because everybody's different. And I literally said she didn't believe the thing she was saying when she was sitting there being real strong, talking about, nope, I'm not going to tell you that. Her eyes were saying something else. Her body language was saying something else. And I said that. I said it. And people told me, I had to actually shut down my comments because some people, if you say something that isn't like Melody was perfect. She was great. She was this. And people would come after you and they were saying shit like, you're whatever they were saying. I don't even care because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I just said, you know what? Let me shut down the comments, because people read the comments and they'll read the comments before they watch the video. And so if the comment section is bad, this is for anybody who has a YouTube channel. If your YouTube comments is a wreck, people will not give your video a view. But I ended up saying to y'all, there was two things that was happening in the scene. Her mouth was saying one thing, her eyes were saying something else. And she confirmed that shit for me, period. She said, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. They told me to. I told you guys she was producing that scene. She was bringing something that was on social media to the show. She said that. I was bringing something to social media to the show. Listen, don't hate the player, hate the game. I know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm getting so much smoke. I told y'all that's what she said. Anyway, she ended up saying exactly that. And she basically said, listen, I didn't want to do this shit. Even after I was done with the scene, she said, I called Kimmy and said, listen, I didn't want to do that. And I said to you guys, sometimes we as bloggers or commentators or whatever, and when we're doing stuff, we will carry y'all on a ride sometime. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But we got to keep in mind that we don't know everything, right? We got to keep in mind that we don't know everything. Thank you, Cookie. So we got to give people a little bit of grace, because what Melody ended up saying was, I was the strongest person. What did I say on Sunday? She's the star of the show. She's the strongest person. I said that on Sunday, my too long ass live. I actually said it. She's the strongest person. She is the star. Sometimes she's expected to do things as producer and some of these things that other people won't do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the scene. Kimmy did the same shit. Okay? Kimmy did the same exact shit. She was carrying bones that nobody else wanted to carry. I was right about the no contact too. Thank you. I saw that shit that rolled up in her comments. I saw it. DYANAROZAY was lying and wrong. No, ma'am. I was not. I gave y'all a title that said, look, was it broken? Because Mel agreed to film. And when I talked to y'all about it, I said, again, we don't know the truth. I said that. I said, sometimes people get upset with what they see, assuming it's something else. You attack channels, you attack the CCs that's not telling the story your way. And what she ended up saying, it was never an order where we couldn't film together. That was just my personal rules. I said it. I said she would have had to agree to film, period. She made a decision not to. She agreed to film. Thank you, Roxy, for giving me my props. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I saw you, Carolyn, whatever your name is. I didn't block you, though, because, you know, shit happens. You weren't rude to me necessarily. Yeah, you weren't. It wasn't a horrible thing. I know that, again, that sometimes people say things and you may not even know, but people are just getting upset about the title. And literally inside, I said, we don't know what their order actually is. And then I said at the top, it had the motion to revoke bond. And then I said that all year, these two have been seeing each other at games. They were seeing each other at therapy sessions, all kinds of stuff. So just based on what I had read in documents, but what she actually said was that there was no contact order in the sense that they could not be in the same room together. It was just her personal choice. Come on in. Welcome, Kevin. You were spot on about this season. Thank you. I think I was too. Including her relationship with Trisha. At the end of the day, I don't care. I know she was saying, listen, I don't have anything against her. Okay, that's fine. I still don't think that those two could be friends just based on what we know. Okay. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to get into it. I think I give good commentary. I try not to take y'all for too much of a ride because I know that not everybody can handle it, including the thing about Destiny saying the groomer thing. Y'all do know that Destiny didn't use the word groom. That shit was hilarious. It was in the description. It was in the description on your TV guide. So I don't know who put that description out there. It could have been a number of people. Sometimes they have marketing teams that write it. Sometimes it could come from the actual network, like OWN could write it. But when Melody actually talked about it, she was like, I think she really specified. She said, this is for the people that wrote it. She didn't even say Destiny. Destiny got creamed. Okay. That shit was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't, because I'm pretty sure she's probably hurt or feeling bad in the same way Melody feels bad, because sometimes social media, what did I say? Social media makes you paranoid and it makes you feel bad, and you got to have a really strong sense of self in order to play, whether it's on reality TV or even on YouTube, because if you don't, that shit will break you down. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, know when to stop listening, because it will turn you into something else. Okay. But at the end of the day, child, that shit was hilarious. Kiki said that it was so bad that it is gone now. Listen, the way I was like, but yeah, it was we don't know who wrote it, because I don't know who's going to take credit. Also, when you're wrong, I do correct myself and I ask for clarification. I'll ask y'all in a second. I asked you then, I said, am I right? Or didn't y'all tell me when I was saying we don't know what this is? Didn't y'all tell me that it meant they weren't supposed to be together? But who wrote that? So Layla, typically there's a team of people that's in charge of that. So they will send it out, but there is an actual marketing team usually who writes it, and it goes through several steps of approval, because what they're trying to do is get people to watch the show. So there's someone whose job is to get you to watch the show. When Melody said in her live yesterday, this is to the people responsible for writing it and putting and approving it and getting it out there. So she basically gave a very blanket, it could be 5 people, could be 10 people. She kind of made it like that, but she didn't say Destiny. She didn't say her name. And I was like, ooh, Destiny, poor child. She getting spanked. So it's not about fact checking. Someone said, why didn't you fact check? It's not about fact checking. The titles are supposed to draw people in. The actual fact check could have happened in the scene, because when Melody talked about it, she didn't say, I tore Destiny's ass up or any of those things. She didn't even allude to that part, because when I was listening, I was like, well, she's not saying Destiny said it, but I saw that she was on other people's channels saying stuff like, nobody took me down on the reunion. I was whooping motherfuckers' ass. I went and got my phone and I did X and I did Y and I did Z. She literally was like, I won, but people saw that one clip and they just assumed, I don't know. It just felt like everybody thought she lost, which was exactly what the hell I was talking about on Sunday. Why do things always go left when we ain't never seen her? It's never been bad. But child, sometimes people just get hurt. And I'm like, but she didn't seem that way. Now she seems that way. But I don't know. I think that if she actually watched the season, and listen, I'm going to tell you, I thought I heard from Sunni that Melody had a hard time at the reunion. I think she said everybody was coming for her and it was just real bad, y'all. And and I was like, okay. So there was conversations about people crying, and I think that is how it got tied up. But according to Melody, she said, ain't nobody did shit to me. But you never know, because sometimes the audience doesn't let it get to where it's supposed to go. It wasn't an allegation that it happened on the show. It was a write-up. It was a description. And that was what she said her problem was, the description. She didn't say destiny per se. She said the description. But the topic is from the girls trip. And when I did my video the other day, I said Melody responded to this shit already. And what did she say? She called Lauren in and some other lady. Have you ever known me to be a woman? It was like, the devil is a lie. No. I'm looking forward to seeing it, especially now. I mean, it's Thursday. I think the shit went up on, when was that? Tuesday. They was promoting on Tuesday the reunion. But listen, I try to do common sense, because I know that sometimes people can get taken away. And because I know people can get taken away, and because I've seen some of the destruction that happens in the chaos, I do feel like, I just want to be as grown as possible. Sometimes I try to be funny about it, but I don't really try to take y'all for a ride that have y'all spinning out of control like that, because I know that it's crazy. But at the same time, we still got to remember this shit is TV. And Melody gave a lot more insight into the fact that these scenes, the producer's job is to say, this is something that's really happening. You really got into this car accident. People are really suggesting there's lipstick on your lips. You, as the couple, Kimmy and Maurice, really don't want to talk about it. So we're going to make you talk about it. That is their job. If they don't do that job, they're fired. Period. They're fired. And if they didn't do that job, you know what would happen? Everybody would have been upset about it. For the people that follows the YouTube's part, people would have been saying, why didn't they talk about the lipstick? We know that man is out there hoeing. Why didn't they talk about this? So they did bring it to TV. Melody took a bone that she didn't want to take, but she did it. She said, I did not want to do it. I don't care if he had lipstick on his lips or not. And I think she said she didn't even care about the drunk driving stuff. She said, I just didn't want to, it wasn't in her, I'm going to pound him down about this. But you got to bring it to TV. That is reality TV. And we have to start, as adults watching the show, giving them that grace so that these moments don't happen. Because sometimes we take it there and it doesn't have to be taken there. Right. I see Essence Shay said that some people are saying that she don't take accountability. So listen, let's talk about it. Let me put up this first scene, right? I think she started off talking about Kimmy and what happened with Kimmy. So let's play a little bit of it, because I started talking about it pretty early. But let's play a little bit of it and really, really break it down, because I think what Melody did, what was the other thing that I have been saying to y'all all season? I told you guys that they were trying to be more cordial with each other, correct? I said, Melody has been sharing all types of shit about her giving Tisha advice. Whatever this advice was a big deal. She must have really, and when I say she, I mean Melody, she must have really felt some kind of way about Tisha coming to her for this advice, because she's mentioned it at least 3-4 times, at least 4 times. Something that was super important to Tisha that she asked me to hold and keep to myself. And she said, I'm going to do it. I'm still going to do it no matter what. Okay. She's letting us know that Tisha trusted her enough to ask this damn question. And Mel felt, I would think, like this was a big moment in her and Tisha's trying to get over the hump. I don't think that's wrong to say. But when I was saying it, people did not like it. A lot of the audience, people that are fans, and I'm not saying millimeters, please don't take anything as millimeters. We're saying fans across the board. People didn't like it. And they kept saying, that's not true. And she did it. Yeah. The fans got to let them move into a better place too. The fans got to let them move into that better place too. You can't just, when they're trying, it's playing out from first episode, season 8. We got to let it go. Okay, so let's talk about it, because these courtesy calls sounds like they've been happening all season. But is it possible that Kimmy got the same job that Melody got, in the sense that we need to bring things up? We need to bring this up if this is a situation, right? So let's talk about it. Hold on. I want to make sure y'all can hear.
Is disheartening that I even have to do this. I'll start there. Probably like 3-4 months now. Spent the last 3-4 months just really being more silent. I feel like when you're silent, that's when you can hear. And so I spent a lot of time being silent and trying to sit a little bit, pray. A lot of y'all joined me on the Universal Fast, and that was amazing. And just overall clarity, right? Overall clarity. And it's been great, to be honest. Some of my team has been like, "Ooh, we don't know how much longer you're gonna be able to keep being quiet, shoot, I was wondering if you was gonna be able to keep doing it." And I've been doing it. And that was a time. I posted a scripture the other day. There's a time for peace, there's a time for war. And I do feel like there's a time to be silent and there's a time to speak out. And sometimes, as the Scorpio in me, I'll say, I will pull back, which you guys have been able to see a lot by way of this show. When I start feeling a different energy or a questionable energy, I will pull back and just observe.
Okay, let me hold out for 1 second. Who are the Scorpios in the chat? 861 of you are here right now. Please hit that like button, please, and thank you. Make sure that you take the poll at the top of the chat, because I'm gonna do this poll in 2 seconds, child. But take the poll at the top of the chat asking who you thought the villain was this season, because Melody says that she thought she was the villain, and she was not the villain. Oh my God. She says she didn't watch it, so I'm giving her that benefit of the doubt. But baby, you were not the villain. You weren't even played as the villain. But there's 4 people there, excluding Trisha, excluding Nell Fletcher, excluding Kimmy, because they didn't have any real anything to be the villain. Hold on. I thought about you yesterday, Diana, when you said that Kimmy and Mel would talk about the storyline and give each other a heads up for tough stuff. I'm not saying for everything, but I do believe that is just, that's the respect you'll do when you might have had a hard scene with someone. So I think that's what happens. But if you are a Scorpio, let me ask you this first. If you're a Scorpio, put a 1 in the chat right now. Put a 1 in the chat, because I have something for my Scorpios. And I have Scorpio in my chart. I told y'all that we all have it in our chart, but mine is very heavy. So I know this for me. I also have a Scorpio friend for 30 years, smart as a whip. Okay, look at all the Scorpios. Smart as a whip, has a law degree, owns their own business, not with law specifically, ran for government office, okay, worked for Bill Clinton, okay, the president, Bill Clinton. This lady is smart, okay? I've known her forever, godmother to her daughter. Now, I say all of this to know, I know the interworkings of a Scorpio. And I also know that a Scorpio feels like they are right 100% of the time. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Okay. And if they do not have a strong friend who can, say, hey, girl, Or, hey, dude, whatever it is. Hey, let's just look at this as a big picture, because sometimes, with a water sign, it's real easy to put that shell over you and get in your feelings. And Mel has done that a couple of times, but sometimes she'll come out and say, listen, she'll laugh at it when she realizes she's wrong. That's how you know. That's the other thing. When a Scorpio, when they have that friend in their life that can help them see things straight, they'll just start laughing. They'll start laughing at themselves like, oh, to make it out of a joke. They're real good at that. Okay. Yes, I know this. So sometimes when I am watching this show, that is the perspective I am taking. Like, oh, she's doing this. But Melody right now is on an island by herself. I'm going to say that. I have said a million times this entire season and last year, 2023, 2024, Melody cannot be on an island by herself, even though people were kind of rooting for that. She can't be on an island by herself because Scorpios don't work that well. Like they can be, water signs in particular, can be loners, but for these kind of spaces, you can't be by yourself. And so, this is what we're getting right now.
I'm going to pull back and I'm going to watch your moves. I'm going to see what you do, how you move, who you're talking to, how you're talking. And I'm going to just watch. And then from there, I'll be able to make the determination of whether or not this is something or someone that needs to be in my life or not, right? And so that's kind of what I've been doing, sitting back, trying to see what hand people were going to play, what people were going to do, what they were going to say. And it's been interesting. It's been disheartening. It has been saddening to an extent, but it's also been confirmation for me. Just by sitting. Now, I'm going to be honest with you all. I have not been watching the show this season.
She should have watched.
So I may have to rely on some of you all who have been watching to help me through maybe some things I missed or that I don't know that maybe made the cut or not. Because I just, honestly, I've only seen clips here and there. Sometimes I'll scroll on Instagram and I'll see clips of the show and I'll keep scrolling because I don't want to see it. But sometimes I watch the clips that pop up on Instagram. And so I have seen some of the clips. I have not seen one full episode this entire season. So y'all probably gonna have to help me some, but I can't.
Look, Monica says she has isolated herself since season 2, if you ask me. Monica, you have a point. So that when she was going through her divorce, she did pull away from everybody. She had to go through that period of healing. I think season 7 is when she started. Was it season 7 or season 6? Season 6, because at season 5 reunion, she said, F everybody. She basically quit on the reunion stage, okay? If y'all watch it, she said, I don't F with none of y'all. I'm not going to let y'all do to me. Referring to the Scotts and everybody, she said, basically, Martell, I don't know why you would F with them because they make you look like a fool and I'm not doing it. Anyway, we all heard the story about how Carlos King came, rounded him up and said, listen, this isn't how y'all want to go out. Let's try to work on it and we will make it reality. Let's just work on the friendships. Melody ends up going to Kimmy's office. Tisha is there. Mel took one for the team. She sat at the table with Tisha and Kimmy and her hug. And she says to Tisha, I know that you and I are in a bad place right now, right? She said, I know we're in a bad place, but let's just take baby steps. Right? And we'll get there. We'll see how it works. And Tisha didn't even want to talk in the scene a little bit. She just kind of nodded, but they started doing better. When they would see each other, they would hug each other all the way up until this last season when Melody goes to Tisha Marceau at their bar and said, listen, you and I made this, this pact not to let things fester. And she said, that's why I'm here. Marceau ends up saying to her, I am happy you didn't listen to Martell. I am happy that you are here. This shows growth for all of us because this could have turned into something different. Like all of that was powerful. And I wish that she would have seen that because that is what needs to continue to play out. You know what I'm saying? If it's not too late, because it sounds like it's done. It sounds like it's done. But that was a huge moment, I thought. I thought it was huge. I thought it was huge for Melody and Tisha. And even at the wedding, when Mel comes in and Tisha and Marcel, they're whispering, hey, Mel, hey, Mel. Even that was like, you know, a real cool moment for all of us to see on the TV. Even if Destiny says Mel is ostracizing herself from the group, we saw the group. We saw the group speaking to her. We see the group happy or excited to see her. We know that Nell Fletcher and her are friends, and Nell had already said the day before, I want Melody at my party. All of those rumors that was going around social media saying that Mel left she didn't go to the reception and all of that. She ended up letting people know I was there. I was enjoying myself. I was having a good time. We didn't see her with the group of women, but I think all of us kind of understood that too. Does not matter. Let's keep listening.
And speak to and attest to the things that I was a part of that are factual, that I know to be facts. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start out with, and I'm going to tell y'all this right now too. This is not going to be a back and forth thing. It's not going to be a situation to where I'm going to speak today and, oh, somebody's going to say something tomorrow and, oh, Mel's going to come back and say something else. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in the position, in the mood, in the realm mentally to do back and forth with people. That's not what I'm going to do. So I don't want you to think there's about to be some turned up anything because if anybody says something else coming back, it's not. I'm going to lay out the facts. I'm going to give y'all the receipts. I will probably do an extended at some point, an extended sit-down interview. That will be a one-time sit-down as well, 9 times out of 10. But I'm not doing back and forth with anybody. So I don't want y'all to think that that's what's about to happen because that's not what's going to happen. So let's get into it. I have watched this season of filming and the scenes I've been in and the clips that I've seen and I've been privy to. I've watched, and the one word that I have come up with that I would use to describe all that has been going on and the people involved, there's one word which I've shared with my team months ago, and that word is delusional. The word is delusional. I'm like, they delusional. Like, this is crazy. I've never seen me firsthand someone who has been a victim of something be attempted to be made out to be the villain, right? Until this show. There are some parts that I would say due diligence was not done. Due diligence includes asking the other party as a production team, asking questions versus just running with what one person says. When you begin to do that and you begin to put out false narratives that you have not confirmed, that have not been proven true.
Okay, I'm going to stop it for 1 second and then just do the poll. I had asked y'all who the biggest villain for the ladies were this season. And I said, was it Sunni? Because y'all know, well, you may not know, but Sunni was actually, it was written up in a whole article where they said Sunni was the biggest villain for being a producer on the show, a producer of a cast member whose boyfriend or ex she ended up, marrying and having or trying to have a baby by. And they said that was an active storyline. They said that was one of the lowest storylines they had ever seen in the history. Hold on one second. In the history of the show, y'all. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is crazy, right? They said that was the biggest. Hold on, sorry about that. That is how it was actually written up. So it was written up that Sunni was the biggest villain. The second person I added was Destiny, because a lot of people just didn't like Destiny. They didn't like that she was bringing up Sunni and Moses, and they thought that she was using her as a storyline. So people were like, nope, Destiny's the biggest villain. The next person up, of course, was Trisha. And Trisha was getting it from the men and the women. A lot of the women was really going after Destiny and Sunni. Moses didn't get anything in regards to the men. Who else? I think Martell was the only villain for the men. Was the only villain for the men. But Melody, I didn't see her as a villain, even though she saw herself as a villain. And I don't know. Some of y'all, I guess, saw it too. So Sunni, people are saying Sunni wasn't the villain at all. 7% of you chose Sunni. 52% of you chose Destiny as the villain for participating in the storyline where her producer and her ex, whatever you want to call him, came to her platform to film. So 52% of you said you can't stand Destiny, that she's the villain. 34%. So Trisha came in second. 34% of you said Trisha. Again, just because you did not like her storyline being with Martell and not being totally forthcoming about it. At least that's how it was edited. Okay. And then Melody came in third, being in Maurice's business. And that was 8% of y'all. I think Melody shouldn't have even been on the table, but cool. It is what it is. So there you have it. Those are the results. I just wanted to put it up there. Let me see who also thought that if you thought were one of the people that voted Melody as the villain, do you mind putting in the chat why you saw her as the villain this season? Because I want to know. Because she actually said she believed that she was the villain. Thank you, Cheryl the Pearl. Don't be special, okay? Come out of them bushes and hit that like button. Don't be special. Okay, so Dolores said that she voted for me. Delois said she voted for Melody. Tell me why. What did you see about her this season that you didn't like? Messy in KY. She said there's a misperception about Scorpio. She said we just believe that we deserve to feel and think the way we want. Is that what it is, child? Listen, you got to have a backbone in order to be a friend to a Scorpio. You got to have a backbone. You hear me? And I have to also say, not everybody can correct a Scorpio. You got to be a special kind of person. You got to know how to talk to them, the whole nine, because they will F your life up, okay? They were always blaming her and bringing her up. Okay. So Newski isn't giving me one example. Hold on. Carla said because she brought up Maurice and his disparaging character, and she came against a member of the Scott clan. That was the reason why she was a villain. Okay. Well, listen, not a lot of you thought she was a villain. She only got 7% of the vote. It's changed now. It was 8%. She only got 7% of the vote. So people didn't think that out of hundreds of thousands, millions of viewers, okay, no one thought she was a villain. So she said she didn't watch it. She said she didn't watch it. And villains typically when you're a villain, you're the person who, you're the I said what I said and I don't give a F kind of person. You messing people's life up, okay? It's pronounced spectatia. Okay, spectatia. Okay, I'm still maybe pronouncing it wrong, but thank you. Thank you. That is hilarious. Usually when you're the villain, there's no resolution. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why Martell is a villain is because he's done some dirty dog, nasty, rotten shit, right? We saw him do that. But there was also no resolution. Like he said, I ain't apologizing for shit. Even though they showed each other like they were in the same rooms together, he said, I ain't apologizing for nothing. F him and Tisha. He doubled down on his feelings. Melody actually, her and Maurice apologized to each other. And what other scene? There was the scene with Nell Fletcher, and she said, listen, if you would have told me sooner, I would have apologized sooner. Like I did not, that was not the intention. So yeah, again, she still got like, she should really actually be behind Sunni when it comes to the villain. I don't know how Sunni skated. Sunni brought one of the most controversial storylines to the show, and she tapped out after episode 2. She didn't want to do it no more. She didn't want to do it no more. The storyline itself was controversial as hell. She worked behind the camera, and I think people thought that she could handle it, but you never know until you're in it. And when she was in it, it was not something she wanted to do. She was bugging. Like at the beginning, she was like, I look better than all y'all. Y'all need to take them wigs off and that makeup off. She was losing it. She was saying people weren't going to make her do that herself. You're not going to make me do like what Kiki did. And it took her a long time to say, you know what? This ain't for me. This ain't for me. Well, I shouldn't say it took her a long time. She spazzed out right away. She spazzed out right away. Review Hour said, I didn't vote for Melody as the villain. However, I do believe that the cast often treated Melody as if she was hallucinating about everything that happened, and it happened to her. Okay, so let me just say this too. I appreciate your saying that. Let me put your comment up, because I also think that we don't give the cast credit when they do come in and say, I made a mistake, which they all said at some point they did, except for who? Like, I know Nell Fletcher was like, I did not know that, Melody. I am sorry. Like, I know she said it. I've heard Marceau say it on screen and off screen. I think the interview he did with Dustin, he actually said, I think it was Dustin, and it could have been with Carlos. I don't know which. So don't hold me to which person. But he definitely made the comment, I understand why Mel was mad at me or mad at us for making jokes about her and Martell being together or breaking up. He said, that was wrong. And I understand now how painful that is. I didn't think about it that way, but the two of them being in the same space on this show is one of the hardest things that a couple could do after they break up. So he actually gave her credit and said that y'all don't, sometimes we just don't carry what they say to the next scene. We don't carry it. But he said it. Tisha and Kimmy at the beginning of the season said, I don't like Martell. I don't side with Martell. See, look at Charlotte. Charlotte, this was said before the whole Marceau and Martell thing even happened. Come on, Dyana. You know Marceau only said that because Martell outed him. No, he said that long before. See? Long before. it's really hard to bring these things up every single time, but he said it long before, at least 2 years ago. Go back and listen to it. But people don't believe him no way, so sometimes it is what it is. I do want to say thank you, Veronica P, for becoming a member of my back room. I appreciate you for blessing the channel. Thank you. Thank you. That was sweet of you. But yeah, I'm not even lying. I swear to you, I would not make this up. That 1000% happened. He said, we did not give Melody and Martell enough credit, but he said those two are in a literal war with each other. And coming back onto this show has to be hard for them. And he was giving Melody the credit because he said, at the end of the day, I remember making jokes and shit. He said, that wasn't funny. I was like, not Marceau. Okay, hold on. Barb, thank you for blessing the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so hilarious. Look, Melody was not the villain. However, the cast often positioned her as a villain. Okay, so yeah, I'm just bringing this up. I'm saying sometimes we forget how this stuff play out. Now let's finish listening. Okay, let's finish listening. Let me take this picture down and put the other one up. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today and doing this because it's a lot. Okay. Let's see. I knew Sunni wasn't going to hang around because she was too quiet. She would say or do nothing to be interactive with people on a personal level. Yeah, I don't think Sunni, I think Sunni thought that she was going to come in and buck up, but she quickly bucked right down. I was like, girl, that is hilarious. I mean, it's not, but it is. But I also know that she was probably super emotional from the hormones and shit. Who knows? I don't think that she could have ever conceptualized exactly what this was going to be.
Right? Then at that point, you are putting yourself in the position of being liable for libel and defamation. And what I can tell you guys for sure is there have been a lot of narratives out that I wasn't even asked about. Didn't even know were being spewed or being said and what definitely wasn't asked about. So when I look at and think back to clips that I've seen where there has been defense of behaviors, of decisions, but nobody asked me for proof that I could have easily provided. But
lies and more lies. See, sometimes this is what I'm saying when people don't remember. That lady was booed off the stage at Melody's that podcast event before anything even happened, before anybody even knew her name. There was a YouTube video that came out on Sunni and Moses. They dogged the hell out of Sunni and Moses in the video. Okay. The first time out, when she was on that YouTube stage or that podcast stage, nobody liked her. They said that she came on puffed up, and she admitted that she was afraid of the audience later, that she was afraid of the fan base, and she didn't know what was going on. I think that she just thought that she could handle it, and it turned out that she couldn't. And the story ended up flipping. But she was the bad guy initially, and it was written up as her being the bad guy. She was considered the villain of the season for all the reasons I just told you. If that was anybody else other than Sunni, if that was Sunni who took Melody's man, okay, let's just say that. Let's say Melody was having an on-again, off-again relationship with somebody else. Y'all already like Melody. Sunni comes on. Y'all know Sunni used to produce Melody, and that she took that man. Y'all would have put Sunni in a blender, okay, with some pineapple juice and drank her, okay? Y'all would have tore her ass up. It is true that people decided to choose a side, and they said she can be as wrong as two left shoes. We are on her side, and it is what it is. That's what TV is about. TV doesn't look for a right or a wrong all the time. They look for who they like. And once we figure that out, we can stop going after people. She got booed. That's right. Look, Liza More Lies said I was there. See, you were there. And not only did she get booed, but Mel said, could you please get off the stage? This is about me. She got dogged from everybody. She got dogged from everybody. I remember I saw the video. I was laughing, but I was like, I'm not going to lie. I did say, listen, I don't really F with Destiny, so I like Sunny. And then when I started listening to more of the story and how shit was unfolding, I was like, wait a minute. Something isn't, I don't like how this is gelling. And it wasn't so much Sunny as it was Moses. I thought Moses wasn't telling enough of his participation. And I also felt like he wasn't being 100. So I think that people were choosing Destiny or choosing Sunny, but I think that Moses probably was more of the villain. Moses did not get the villain role though. And now Martell has won yet again. He's won the villain role yet again. Okay. Okay.
But now we're on the reunion stage and want to act shocked. Well, you should have asked me, the victim in the situation. I could have pulled the paperwork and showed you what the outcome was. But you didn't ask because you really didn't want to know. Because see, the truth wouldn't align with your agenda. I'll say that again. The truth would not align with your agenda. So instead of doing your due diligence and asking and being given the necessary proof to then change maybe the direction you were trying to go, you decided to stay quiet, you and your team, and not ask any questions. Right? But now we're shocked when the facts come out. And I'm finally asked on the reunion stage, what are we jumping up for now? This could have been asked. I could have been told you. I could have been told you this. It's my, I can go pull the records. It's my documents. What do you mean? Okay. So that explains, this reaction for me explains why you guys felt comfortable to use this entire season of this show to downplay, to negate the facts, to run with things that, as you know, could have been true, could have not been true, but you didn't want to know the truth. And to build people up to think that maybe the other part was the truth. So everyone decided to have an opinion, but nobody decided to ask me what was what. Ain't that interesting?
Okay, so I just went over to my TV guide to see if they actually changed the language of that description for episode, what episode is this? Episode 15. So that's actually the second part of the reunion. The language is still there on my TV guide, and I watched this show through Philo. So it's still showing on my side, y'all.
Then we get to finally another castmate coming out saying, oh, we've all known about this. It wasn't a secret. We all have known. We've all seen, the guys have seen this video and they this and they that. Right? Now we hear that. So then it becomes a, bet. It becomes a bet. Because if they have been privy to and knew all along what the facts were, what the truths were, how is it that y'all had no problem spending an entire year acting as if you don't understand why there is a separation? Why you don't understand why there's no conversation? And speaking of conversation, let's be honest. I don't have a desire to converse with people who are actively, daily striving to destroy me. It does not matter who you are or what we created together. I have no desire to do that. So if it's not about my children, there's not a conversation.
Okay, so she is, if I'm not mistaken, what I heard her say is she doesn't F with anybody who has any type of kinship with Martell. She said, if it's not about my children, at least that's what I thought I heard. She believes that Martell is actively trying to destroy her, and therefore she can't have any relationships with anyone on the cast. That's what I thought I heard her say. And y'all can tell me in the comments if you thought you heard her say something different. She did make the comment, Tisha, saying, I did see the tape. Now, she didn't say that on the show for the season. She said it in an interview that was promoting the show on Carlos King's thing. Whether or not Melody has addressed it with Tisha or not, I don't know. Could Tisha have been lying? She could have. I really don't know. At this point, Melody had actual audio of Martell's baby mama, Ariane. She heard the audio of Ariane saying, I saw the tape. I distributed the video, or not tape. I saw the video. I distributed the video. And I believe that she took that down to the magistrate's office. This is something she discussed at the podcast. And the magistrate told her we had to start with Martell. So I know that this upcoming case with Martell, after pleading guilty, wanting to have all this overturned, I know that this upcoming case is a big deal for her. And we shall see what happens next, if more heads are going to roll other than just her ex-husbands.
To be had. So even that narrative, untrue. There is no, oh, Melody acts this way here and then she acts this way there. No, Melody acts the same. Melody sits way over on another side, way over there. Okay. Way over there. What are you talking about?
So again, part of this entire season, Melody has been saying that she does not F with these people, like outside of the show. She said, we're cordial, we film, but we don't hang out. We are not friends. All of the things, all of this stuff that a lot of people that watch her or are fans and pay attention to her comments and things, they already know that this is already true. So watching it on the show isn't really a shock. And she said it to Maurice this season when she went to his office and said, hey, listen, at the end of the day, you mess with my husband and I don't. I'm not going to mess with you because of it. And he said, I'm going to apologize to you for anything that I may have said or done to hurt you.
So no, unlike a lot of the people here, I don't put on for the camera. And to be honest with you, I think that's part of the issue, is that I refuse to just put on for the camera. Will I attempt to be cordial? Absolutely. Attempt to try to reconcile, depending on how far you've gone. That's the other thing. Depending on how far you've gone, how far you've taken it, and what true efforts you're giving. I'm open, depending on how far you've gone and what your efforts look like. Unfortunately, in this, what had been this situation for me, very few would be given that opportunity to be close to me again.
Okay, so she kind of switched up and said she could be open to certain things, but very few will have the opportunity to actually get there, right? So here, you guys, I'm going to show you my Philo screen. Let me blow it up. I don't know if y'all can see this, but if y'all look at number 14, or excuse me, number 15, the word groomed is still there. It's at the bottom. You might need to blow it up, but it says number 15, Trisha finally Martells the truth. And then the word groomed is still there. Let me lighten up the screen. Yeah, I think that's as light as it can get. So just so y'all know, they have not changed it yet. Okay, not yet. They might be working on it though, but it's still showing up on my screen that way.
Okay. And so there's no, for me, There is no, hey, I'm going to be this way and then we'll be this way. Nah, I'm the same. Every place you see me at, pull up, drop off, drive off if I'm doing that day. It's what it is. There's no conversation.
Nicole said, good evening, Diana in chat. Martell did a number on Melody, and it was to the point where she is very guarded. If things between her and Martell were better, she would not be discussing this. Listen, I agree with you 1,000%. I've said this 1,000,001 times. When she was telling y'all that her intuition was off because she used to believe shit that man was saying to her, and now she has to rebuild her intuition. Intuition is a muscle. Discernment is a muscle. It's something you practice every single day. I've said that a gazillion times. I said, we're not paying attention to this, but she has a lot of paranoia about people and not being able to trust the people that's in that space. We know this. We should know this anyway.
But I get it. It fits the narrative, right? That Mel is just difficult and Mel is just fake and Mel's phony and Mel's this whole narrative that has been spewed into the minds of what were once castmates of mine by the producer. I'm going to say producers.
Producers. Listen, it may not have been Carlos King who wrote it, Rena. It could have been the OWN network. Her issue, I'm just saying it could be. We don't know. It is a part of marketing.
And that seemed to be better than pushing the facts. You guys say there's never any reconciliation when it comes. You guys said there was never really any reconciliation when it came to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Do y'all think that people really wanted there to be, production-wise? Because for me, I'm not on the outside looking in, I'm in. And what I'm going to say is there was no desire for reconciliation amongst the group.
Okay, let's put a pause on this. So how do y'all feel about that? Right now, vote. If you think that Melody, that if you want it as an audience to see Melody reconcile, because I also feel like the audience didn't want it if she's saying that production didn't want it. But if y'all wanted Melody to reconcile her acquaintanceships, I think they tried. Put a 3 in the chat. If you think that Melody shouldn't fuck with any of them, pardon my French, put a 5 in the chat. 5, get out. Okay. 3, you would have liked to see them engage more. Okay. That's how you've always shared it on my channel. I don't know about anybody else's page, but the majority of y'all said no, you did not want reconciliation. We have to keep that in mind too, because it's not just one-sided. At this point, there was a cast who was saying they were being attacked, or that's a story they were trying to spread, because a lot of y'all said this Melometer story was bullshit and it shouldn't have been a part of the season. But that was some of the stuff that was happening with the cast, even though it seemed like they were also trying to show themselves at the same time working on things. It felt like it was still happening, but there was a lot that was going on. Listen, you want to, everybody said, I don't see, look, I think I only see 1 3. One person said that they would have loved to see more reconciliation. That wasn't a villain role. No, I didn't say it was a villain role. I don't know if you were talking to me. I stopped talking about it as a story. Actually, I was like, I don't even know what to make of it. I don't think they discussed it at all in the second half of the season. Season 9, it wasn't discussed at all. I don't think so anyway. But everybody who is a fan of hers, or the people that are voting in my chat, they're saying they did not want reconciliation. So you guys feel pretty much the way she's saying production felt. On her live, though, she said, I would have loved for you guys to have seen more positive moments with us, more reconciliation with us. But you all are saying no.
No desire for reconciliation. That's why when you watch television and there is conflict, there's conflict, there's a climax of the situation, and then there's a resolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
The resolutions never lasted because they didn't want it to last. Okay? I attempted.
That is the recipe for all television, including cartoons. Conflict and resolution. It's in the Bible. Conflict and resolution. It's if you write a book, you need a conflict and a resolution. That is a fact.
To ease down the chaos.
If you want it to be successful.
This season, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but I usually wouldn't even let people in my house. I'd be like, it was only a couple of people that I would let film in my house. And they knew because I would tell them, nope, these are the people right here. This person, this person, this person. They can come into my home. This is my sanctuary. This is my place of peace. They're welcome into my home. Yes. But that's it. This season, I opened it up a little bit more, did I not? I did. I opened it up a little bit more. Right? Again, these are your attempts at reconciliation and trying to move forward and trying to get everybody back to that positivity, Black excellence, so to speak, that we like to talk about, that I think people don't even be knowing the real definition of. And so let's talk about that right there. Let's talk about that first. I want to shout out some people I saw come in. I saw Braylon J come in here. I saw True T come in here. I saw Mr. Defy Gravity, Ivan. I saw you come in here. Hey, welcome. Y'all share the live. And I'm gonna sit here and take this thing slow, because one thing that I've learned is some people lack comprehension skills, and they'll listen to something, and I have heard things that I said, and it became something totally different. I'm like, that's not what I said. What? Well, how did they run a title like this on their YouTube channel? That is not what I said. And so there are some people who do a great job, and there's some people who just lack comprehension skills. So I'm going to make sure we all understand, and hopefully this will decrease, some of that, okay? So I had a scene. Let me get this code on this phone.
Okay. Monica said there are many villains, and she's right. Every TV show has to have a villain. Melody's villain was low on the totem pole for season 8 and 9. But every show has villain or villains, correct? Somebody got to be a villain. Somebody has to be.
I had a scene, and the first thing I'm going to show you guys is just the start of a number. Right here. A start of a number. Okay? 256755, and I'm not going to say the rest, the last four. The date of this call was July 19th. Y'all see July 19th? July 19th. Okay, y'all see it? 256755 at 1:34 p.m. Let me go over and show you how long the call lasted. Now remember, this is call number 2 on the screenshot from my Verizon phone bill, number 2. So let's scroll over and get to call number 2.
This is so Scorpio. It's crazy. Mel did this video yesterday. What was yesterday? The 29th, January 29th. She done pulled some shit from July 19th, 2024 on her phone bill, child, to make sure that she is giving the facts, the receipts. This is very Scorpio-ish. Very.
That's 21 minutes.
21-minute conversation.
21 minutes. Y'all see that? That's 21 minutes, okay? So there was a 21-minute phone call that happened. Now, let me show you guys this. So remember that, July 19th, 21 minutes.
21 minutes,
Okay.
July 19th. This would have also been after Kiki's passing. So I just want to put all of these moments in perspective, because a lot happened this season that did not show up on the TV show, right? There was a lot of emotional things happening around this time, but Kiki passed in the month of July.
Here is July. Can y'all see that? Let me tell you what it says. It's Friday, July 19th, scene 1 melody, 11:30 a.m., 106 Jefferson. Let's look right here. Oh, now I'm going to bring it together for y'all, but we got to do it right. There we go. There we go. July 19th. 11:30 a.m., 106 Jefferson, right? So let's go to Google and put in 106 Jefferson.
Okay, so she's actually talking about the scene that her and Kimmy do. This is the actual pictures from that scene. They meet at 106 Jefferson, some sort of rooftop. It looked really pretty, but she's explaining this. This is the breakdown, which I'm just going to toot my own damn horn. Okay, beep, beep. I was on top of it. I don't care what the title says.
So if that call time was 11:30, and then I made a call at 1:30 something that lasted 21 minutes. Let's talk about it. I'm going to Google 106 Jefferson for you so y'all can see the images of what 106 Jefferson is. We're going to see if it looks a little familiar to any of you. Let's see.
Hit my like button, please, and thank you.
Can y'all tell me what that area and location looks like to you guys?
Hit the like button and become a member, okay? All the things. Help my channel out.
What space does this remind y'all of? Let me click a picture and make it bigger. This is the rooftop bar at 106 Jefferson. Hey, Jay Taylor. So this is the rooftop bar. What does that look familiar? I'm looking for y'all. What does that look like? What is it? If y'all who've been watching, what does that look like? I see some of y'all got it right. Absolutely.
Okay, look. Dawn Michelle has stopped through. Thank you, lady. I appreciate that. She said, just saying hello. Thank you. Thank you. We're over here talking about your Scorpio client. With these damn receipts. She receipting all over the place. This is hilarious.
So, yeah, y'all got it right. Hey, Miss Deborah, 69 and fine came in here. Yes, Miss Deborah. So a lot of y'all got it right. The one-on-one scene with Kimmy. Yes. So Kimmy and I have this scene. And when I first get there, right, I don't really want to talk about the stuff they want us to talk about. I actually didn't want to talk about it when we worked out here at my house. But let me tell you the task that was given to me. Hey, you heard about such and such? Yes, I've heard about it. Everybody knows about it. Well, none of them want to talk about it. And we ain't going to be able to not talk about it. So we need you to try to get her to talk about it. Because we can't not talk about it. It's everywhere. I'm like, but look now, if she don't want to talk about it, now I'll push a little bit, but I ain't pushing too much because I ain't doing it. But okay, I'll try. Great. So we had that here at the house. And if you notice, I tried to push just a little bit, but when I saw it was a total shutdown on it, it was kind of like not going to go nowhere anywhere else. I'm like, okay, cool. So then we have a one-on-one scene where I just showed you guys. And I really didn't want to talk about it. I'm like, she don't want to talk about it. So I'm sitting here trying to be like, no, I'm not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. You said you don't want to talk about it, and we're not going to talk about it. Right? But then the conversation continues to happen. So what I showed you guys was a phone call that took place that day right after. And I you know, the one who doesn't want resolution and who's like bitter and mad and angry and fake and phony and all this stuff. I called Kimberly and I said, hey, so I just want to let you know, girl, I do not care nothing about this stuff, no lipstick, no none of that. I said, you know, production got me asking y'all this and asking these questions. I do not care. We talked for 21 minutes. I just showed y'all the phone call. Her response to me was, girl, I already know this production. I said, girl, yes. I said, honestly, I ain't even trying to do no drama for real. I wish we could get away from drama. We have a whole 20-something minute conversation. And I'm like, I don't care about it. I don't care about it. They're making me ask about it, but I really don't care. But you asked me in this scene not to mention it again. And I said, and I'm going to tell you what, you don't never have to worry about me mentioning it again.
Boom. Let's stop for a second. So Kimberly says, listen, at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Melody says, she repeats, what we did talk about in the scene, even though I did not want to bring it up. I did not want to bring it up. I was asked to do it, so I did it. But I want you to know that I'm not trying to push any buttons, right? Let's talk about this part, because Kimmy, she says, you asked me, she says to Kimmy, you asked me not to bring it up again. You asked me not to bring it up again, which means that whether Kimmy said X, Y, and Z on the phone, she was still in her feelings because she didn't want to talk about it, right? She was still in her feelings. Who agrees that that woman was in her damn feelings? Put a 6 in the chat. I don't think we've done the number 6. 6 in the chat if you think Kimmy was in her feelings. She felt some kind of damn way about her husband being out all night, because that's the story she gave to Carlos King. I went to bed. I woke up. He was not there. I had to get in my car, drive around and look for this man because I did not know where he was. And then I get the phone call. So Kimmy's hurt. Okay. Put a 7 in the chat if you think Kimmy didn't give a shit. He knew that she was down the street at, Barbara's house. She knew he was down the street at Barbara's house. Okay, so 7 if you think Kimmy knew and she was whatever, or 6 if you think she was hurt. Kimmy was hurt. Okay. Okay, one person says 7. One person says 7 so far. Okay, listen. The only reason why I'm saying this is because when I reviewed the scene, I said Melody does not want to do this scene. She doesn't want to do it. She the words that are coming out of her mouth doesn't look like it's what she actually feels, period. And she confirmed that for me. Okay, even though some of y'all was attacking me, I was right. Okay, so make your fake accounts and come back. That's cool, because nobody's coming out of purgatory for next year. I don't care. Everybody who gets blocked stays blocked. Make your fake account. Okay, that's number 1. But I also said that Kimmy had a look on her face that was weird to me. And when she says to Mel, if you know something, just tell me, I feel like maybe she had some questions that didn't get answered by her husband. Maybe, allegedly. Y'all see the scroll at the bottom, okay? All opinions are alleged. But I said Kimmy had some questions that didn't get answered. And she even said on Carlos King's show. Okay? Well, let's see. Love y'all. I got to get back to work. Okay, babe, go back to work. I said at the end of the day, I said she wanted an answer to her question. And I said, Melody got to give her something. And Mel said, no, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you nothing. She said, there are other people who are saying this, go to them. And Kimmy makes this half like giggle, like, huh. And she said, even though you and I have already had this conversation, about, coming to each other so that things don't fester, you're still not going to answer my question. And Mel said, yes, I'm not going to answer it. So even though Mel did get tough, she did get tough with Kimmy, she did call her to say, I was just doing a job. I don't want you to take it personally. And when that conversation was over, I think that Mel felt really like I did what I needed to do to make it okay. I think that Kimmy wasn't okay even when she said she was okay on the phone. Clearly, that's what I think. She knew she had to do the scene. Well, you said, but listen, you guys, they're being brought this information, right? And you heard Melody say, when you told me you did not want to talk about it, I said I wasn't going to bring it up again. And she says that in the scene. She says, listen, to Kimmy, she said, you told me not to bring it up again. And I promise you, I won't bring it up again. She's saying that those were real moments. She's saying those were real moments. It's just that Kimmy wasn't over it. Kimmy may actually have some feelings about her husband and what's going on, clearly. And what do women do when they get caught up like this? Exactly what we saw. Butterfly, I believe that the network that runs the show, that the show plays on, they have advertising dollars that they have to buy. And so they do things to make people watch the show to get the advertisers to do things. So it's a couple of different people that go through an approval process, and you can look it up. You don't have to trust me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the information's out there. I'm not saying that he didn't say, this is, I like this or whatever, but he doesn't get the final say. No, he is an employee like all the rest of them. And I'm gonna tell you what, if I have to buy advertising dollars or whatever those things are, I know I got advertisers, then I'm going to do what works for me and my advertisers, just like I do to get y'all to watch my shit. I need my video to look a certain way. I'm gonna put certain pictures up. I'm going to put a certain title up. What we talk about, it'll be what we talk about. But y'all go to channels like that all the time. And people will steer you wrong all the time with a specific word or, a phrase or a title. And people will come all out of pocket and beat the ground, beat their feet bloody for some shit that's not even true, just based on the comment or the title. It's true for everything. That is the world we live in. Rolling Stone, the news, everybody does it. Everybody does it. But back to Kimmy and Melody. I think that Kimmy, my point of view is that Kimmy was hurt when it happened. And yes, Mel did call her, and I'm happy that she called her. I think that she's telling us all the information. She did it. I don't deny it for a second. I think she did it. And I think that maybe even in the moment when Kimmy was talking to her, she probably thought, okay, I'm gonna let this shit go. Because remember, in that reunion clip, you hear Kimmy say, remember that meeting about me, you, Martell, me touching Martell? I was like, okay, bitch, because you know I don't touch I wasn't feeling on that man, right? And Melody, I told y'all, Melody was smiling at her like, yeah, that's right. We're in this together. Like, I didn't try to backstab you, girl. Like, this is what we do. That was the energy that scene was giving me, period. And it sounds like that's what happened. Kimmy is triggered because some shit that she does not, I won't even say she doesn't believe, but she did want to hurt her when she said X, Y, and Z. It's a fact. She said it. At the end of the day, she was hurt. I really don't know what the hell my husband was doing, quote unquote. Even in the scene with Maurice, what did she say to Maurice? Sometimes I don't think you are as forthcoming as you could be. I don't think you tell me the truth. She says it to him in that day after scene or whatever, when he's, I'm embarrassed. I didn't realize, I wasn't expecting to get arrested. This is embarrassing for me. And she said, is there anything I can do to help you? And he said, no, there's nothing you can do. And if I told you there's nothing you could do. And she said, sometimes I don't think you are as forthcoming as you should be or could be. That's letting us know in the scene that she wasn't feeling secure in that relationship. Having to drive around and find your husband. What did I tell y'all? I would lose it. I'm not, child, I'm goodbye. I'm out. I can't even imagine it in my head right now. If I wake up and you're not where you're supposed to be in this house, consequences. I don't even want to think about it. And what she says to Carlos King is, I got to pick my battles. Do I want him out there? No, we're too old for that shit. But this is something that he was doing before he and I met. I trust that he's out there with his brother. Hey, Snatched by Diego. Thank you, bruh. I appreciate that. I love you. I love when you guys stop by. So if I missed anybody, I'm like, blame it on my eyes. I'm so sorry. But yes, that was a big moment for her That was a big moment for her. Go back and look at it. I told y'all that that woman was not feeling that man 100% and that she thought, she said, she point blank said it, I don't necessarily think you're being honest with me. So we have to recognize that, right? And that was the moment. That was the moment, okay?
And that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Conversation over, ended well, no problem, no animosity, nothing. Nothing. See, that's how you get to resolution, right? As a cast. So that is why y'all then saw a scene after that where she was welcomed into my home, not just in my garage this time. Because we had such a great combo, a 21-minute combo that I just showed y'all. So I'm like, yeah, she can come in and say, oh, I told the production, I said, y'all know what, I'm going to make my rotel dip. I said, they used to love when I made my rotel dip. And I kind of want some anyway, too. So I'm going to make some rotel dip. I made rotel dip. Came to my home. We ate. She brought a bone to me.
She brought her a bone. What was the bone? It was Trisha. But this is a big deal for Mel, too. So I'm just pointing out what's big for both of them, okay? That was her big moment. But Melody's saying, listen, the fact that I brought you into my home should tell you that I trust you. I trust you more than most people on this cast because I don't let anybody in my house. So both of them are hurt. Whether you guys as an audience want to admit to that or not, both Melody and Kimmy are hurt. Melody was hurt when Kimmy did what she did on the stage. And she's hurt even now when she's saying at the end of the day, I didn't expect for this to go this left. I thought that you understood what I was doing and that I brought you into my house, child. I brought you into my house. I made you rotel and I put them nachos out there and you stayed. You stayed for hours after.
Even in that, I'm going to be real with y'all. I literally don't even be that mad for real about people. I know we've got to have conversations that somebody's got to tell it. I don't even be tripping on it like that. But it makes it interesting to me when I see a title of Melody is addressed about her double standard. I've never told anybody on this show not to bring social media to me. Never. Ever. I've never done it. So you want to say a double standard would be me saying, hey, don't bring social media stuff to me, and then I bring social media stuff to you. That's a double standard. I've never told people what not to talk about when it came to me. Never. Now, there was some conversations amongst other folks, but I never said what not to talk about when it came, because I always felt like if I'm going to do reality TV, I want it to be real. I want it to be real. I want it to be authentic because the audience can feel when things are real and when they're not. They can feel it. You can tell, and that's what makes scenes not make sense. Whenever 1 minute people are about to fight, and then the next week they're all sitting up in a crowd together, bunched up like a bunch of peanuts in a bag.
I'm sorry, I had to stifle a laugh. Hold on. But she's right. I look for the honesty in a scene when I do a review. That's why I'm like, I try to see both sides of things. I totally understand how all of this shit went left. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of people have been coming into my comments. 2 people got blocked yesterday talking about she about to spin this and make it blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm not gonna spin it. I'm telling you what happened. Melody said it that way. And even if Kimmy don't come out on her live and do anything, Kimmy already told us she didn't trust what was happening in that moment. She said it more than once. She said it on Carlos King's page and she said it on the TV show. So she did tell us that. But unfortunately, because if y'all listen to that clip again, you know what happens when Melody is trying to explain it to Maurice. Maurice accepts her apology damn near. She said, Maurice, like, remember I told you that we were, that it was, on social media. And he went, oh, okay. Like he's trying to calm it down because he doesn't want it to go left. And he could have sensed Kimmy's energy and it was too late. It was already out of her mouth before she started. But pay attention to Maurice. Maurice tries to give her a little punch, but he also walked it back. Kimmy picks up the doggone punching bag after that. Kimmy picked up the punching bag after that. And y'all are saying her problem is Maurice. It may be. That's what Melody said to her within the Tiffany scene. He is attacking you. They're attacking you because he didn't go home and do what he supposed to do with his wife. It makes her look bad, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you look bad when your husband don't come home and you wake up and you didn't even know he was, he had been out all night? Doesn't that make you look bad? It does, child. Absolutely.
That's when it becomes to the point where we're no longer doing reality TV. And now you are trying to maybe just be actors and actresses. And I when I want to do that, I go learn a real script for a movie. I don't come to reality TV to do that. So I'm a little different when it comes to that. And again, I think that's some of the issue, but that's fine. Comes in, we eat, have a conversation. Actually, when the cameras go down, we actually stay longer. Now, I have cameras up there in the room because we stayed in my sunroom. So y'all know the little area where you can, I've shown y'all before, you kind of look outside and see my backyard. You see the trees and all that. Well, that's my sunroom area, and I have chairs there. And we kind of sat in there and talked for a while. Just me and Kimmy. Cameras gone. We just chilling, eating, and talking. No problems. None. That's why after that, you then see us at the bachelorette party. No problems. See at the vow renewal. Got no beef or problems. Matter of fact, at the vow renewal, at the reception part, when I sat at the table, because I had a name tag on my table, Trisha, Marcel, Kimmy, Maurice, they all came and sat at the table. We were all talking. We were talking about the kids and almost being teenagers and all this stuff, having just good, positive conversation. There was no drama being had. Just
she trusted Kimmy. This is all about trust right now because Scorpio, what? Loyalty and trust. Melody trusted her to be in the house after the cameras are gone. She wants y'all to know. She is telling the fans, I still trusted Kimmy. I thought that she and I were on the same page. One of the things she has always said is that her and Kimmy, even if they might bump heads, they were always the ones to get over it the quickest. Okay, trust and loyalty. And she is letting us know trust and loyalty was broken here. She also feels like what Kimmy did was, she believes that it was production. She thinks, from what it sounds like, she believes that production didn't want a resolution or a moment. I don't know. I can't say. I hope that we get more answers, but I do think that maybe Melody didn't see that Kimmy, well, I can't even say that because she did say she called her to let her know, girl, you told me not to talk about it again. I will not. But I don't know if she didn't watch the season. She said she didn't watch it. She might have missed Kimmy saying that she doesn't believe that Maurice is always forthcoming. And maybe she missed the interview where Kimmy said, I don't like that Maurice is out there at 3:00 in the morning, and I don't know what to do about it. I have to pick my battles. She might have missed that too.
Talking and chatting it up. Then, of course, I left when I felt like a boundary was crossed that I had already shared with production that wouldn't be okay with me. So then I gracefully left. I didn't make a scene. I'm not finna go off and blow up. None of that. I gracefully, like the lady I am, got up, went over to Miss Nell and them. A part y'all didn't see is when I told her I was about to go, she called her photographer that they had paid to take pictures. Hey, Melody's about to leave. Come over here and take some pictures with us. I took some pictures with them. We took pictures. And I left. No big deal for me at all. And so at that point, no, and that's another thing. No, there was no violation of a protective order. That's another thing I noticed too. A lot of people think they know every single in and out of what has taken place when they pull documents. And some of the stuff y'all be saying that was active at the time, or this was this at the time, y'all had it all wrong. But that's another conversation for another day. So anyway, another conversation for another day. And so it was literally me having that boundary in place myself. Me. Just know that. Me. Okay? So I left, no biggie, nothing about it. Okay, nothing about it. And I dipped out. I dipped out because when I ran up there to tell them bye, and Miss Nell motioned for the photographer to come take the pictures, Destiny tried to run up there too and was all up in my space. And I was like, okay.
Not Destiny. Destiny was there too, all up in Melody's space. That girl, she makes me laugh. So Mel is saying that Destiny, after making the comment that Melody didn't want to be a part of the group, she said Destiny was right there in her space, child, right there in her space when she was saying goodbye to Nell. It wasn't a run out because Martell sat down. All she did was get up, say her goodbyes, and that was it. Said her goodbyes, and Destiny actually came and joined, I guess, in the goodbye process. Okay. So she corrected that. That is something that is absolute. I wouldn't have never guessed that ever. So that was cool. But yeah, let her finish that part out.
And I got out of there, dipped on out, right? So that was that. Myself. And I've learned that a lot of people don't do well with boundaries, or they're not good at sticking to them, to the boundaries, and whatever. And so they don't understand it. So when we get to the clips y'all have seen for the reunion, considering that I've had conversation, it's been understood why these questions are being asked, but I really don't care. And we have a great conversation about it. I've already met with Maurice. We hashed it out, apologized to each other. And I told him in that scene, I said, well, Maurice, I don't know the air. Y'all can tell me because I don't know. But I told him in that scene, I said, well, listen, Kimmy already mentioned she would like for me not to talk about it again. I said, and I'm going to tell you like I told her. I said, you ain't got to worry about me talking about it no more. That's it. And I never brought it up since. And if you think about it, the only people that I had the conversation or asked questions with was when the cameras was up filming. Nobody else I talked to on an everyday basis was I discussing some lips and red lipstick. Because I didn't really care. Okay? But I guess maybe production understands that they have more of one family on this show and they can stick together and choose not to talk about nothing. So then they got to see who can they get to ask the questions. And that's fine, right? So Maurice and I, cool, calm, collected, makeup, apologies, we good. And he even understood. I said, maybe because you're around me when there's a person in the room that I don't fool with. So maybe that's why you don't get the nice melody, because the energy's already messed up.
Did you hear that? She said, Maurice understood her. You heard that?
And he said, you know what, Mel? Don't know if they aired it or not, but in the real scene, he said, you're right. I feel you. Because I haven't been around you, like, without that. Because the only time y'all been around me is if we're filming. And usually everybody's there. So that was that. You know what I'm saying? My Mimosas with Melody event happened. They came. I text Kimmy. And by the way, I also text Kimmy whenever he got arrested. I know there was a conversation about nobody reached out. There was a conversation about that nobody reached out, I think, but one or two people on this show. Do y'all want to see that text message? Because I definitely text. I definitely text Kimberly and checked on her for sure. Because again, like I've said, I understand how stuff like that as a woman can be a lot, because we do carry a lot. Yes, she said that. Oh, she did say that. So let me go ahead and hold on. Let me screenshot this text for y'all.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm about to put on another one because we're only going to do Kimmy and Trisha, because I'm gonna wrap this up after that, and then we'll do another live for the rest. But are y'all listening to what she said? She said, I know that what Kimmy went through is a lot. I know it from my own personal experiences. She said that on the show with Martell. Kimmy may be going through some shit that she doesn't want to play out on TV or whatever the case may be. But yeah, she ain't calling her Kimmy no more. She said Kimberly, okay? But she is saying, listen, Kimmy, I know Kimberly is going through some shit. She's saying that in the scene, in this audio, and she said it in the scene. So y'all, this is just a trust and loyalty issue. Melody thought she had an understanding, and she didn't. Kimmy either did not follow through with that understanding. Melody feels like it was a low blow. It was a punch. She's not, and she's also saying, listen, I feel like I had assurance from both you and Maurice that you both understood that we were doing something with production. Now, when you watch the actual reunion scene, Maurice, like I said, tries to calm it down, but Kimmy is the one who takes the wheel. Could Kimmy have just been triggered because she really wanted to punch back at Maurice? I don't know. Did Kimmy lie and say she was okay when she really wasn't? I don't know. That's for the audience to decide. That is what reality TV is about. You're going to pick up an enemy. You're going to pick up somebody that like you. You're going to pick up someone that can't stand you. That's just the facts. Okay. All I do is just try to recognize what they be doing on this show. Okay. So I'm playing this last part, which is 10 minutes. Hold on. Let me play this part. And then I'm going to play all of Trisha. I don't know how long that is. I'm going to play all the Trisha part, and then we'll wrap this up.
So let me show you guys this, because I think that I saw that in the clip, and I remember thinking, dang, this what we doing now? Like, we just making stuff up? It's like, gosh, sheesh. Now, I don't even know the date of no arrest, so y'all gonna have to look that up for yourselves, because I don't know. But I will show you right there, June 10th, and I'll read it to you. Okay, June 10th. At 5:47 p.m., that's what that is. Hey, Kimmy, this is Mel checking on you, as I'm sure it's been a lot. So just checking on you, sending prayers.
Y'all hear that? She said, I didn't even extend a how's Maurice. She said, I didn't even ask the woman, how was Maurice doing? She said, just checking on you. Make no mistake about it. You know how, when you do that, because I've done this with my friends, when I don't like their man or their partner, I'll be like, girl, I'm just checking on you. Okay. I'm just checking on you. I don't give a damn what that one is up to or into. How are you doing? That is exactly how she said it.
She wrote me back at 10 p.m. Hey, chick, I'm good. Appreciate you checking. Have a great week. August 3rd, I called her to invite her to Mimosas with Melody. She said, sorry, I missed your call. I'll be there. I said, hey, okay. I figured you might have been busy. It's for men and women. So I was inviting Maurice too. Let me know so I can have y'all a spot. She said, no problem. I'll tell him. Again, this is all after the whole conversations about any lipstick. That stuff is resolved. It's done, over, through, complete. And then August 13th, I text her, said, hi, Kimmy and Reese. Thank you both for coming out on Saturday. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. That's right here, August 13th. They came to my Mimosas with Melody event. I also sent her this video. She was with one of my millimeters, and my photographer, I think Freddie O, captured this. And I could just tell in this video that there was a moment those two had. I didn't know what it was, but I could tell there was some kind of moment. So I sent it to her, like they were hugging, and it was something. I just knew it was something. And anyway, she ended up telling me that the lady was a survivor of cancer. And so, yeah, they did have a moment, and I sent it to her. And then I sent her this picture from my photographer. I didn't have to. I sent this to them. I said, good, going through all the pics. And
I'm going to fast forward this.
then we get there on the stage, and there's this whole different energy that's totally different. I ain't gonna lie. If I can be honest with y'all, it shocked me, and it's really sad. It's super, super sad, to be absolutely honest. It's very sad. That's all I say. It's very sad. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening at all this vitriol that's coming out with somebody who, And this is why, again, I say y'all don't ever see any resolution. Because people put batteries in people's backs because they don't really want resolution. They don't really want resolution. How beautiful would it have been to have kept the real? Like the real is what the combos is happening on these phones. The real. How beautiful would it have been to have kept the real and y'all have been able to see, you know what, all that happened this season, but man, look, that's dope. That's dope. Like they good. They good up there. They straight. How dope would that have been? The real. So instead, we got all this rah-rah. and I'm not fixing to really be rah-rah. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not gonna be rah-rah with folks. I'm not doing it. Did I run off any stage crying? No. Did I shed a tear on that stage? No. Did I almost shed a tear on that stage? No. I don't know where that rumor came from either. But I'm
Child, listen, Sunni had us thinking that you were broke, that you were broken on that stage. That's what she kind of said, child. I'm pretty sure she did.
I'm not going to be rah-rahing with you either. I'm still going to be respectful. I'm going to keep my composure. I'm going to smile to keep my composure to make sure I stay okay. But to see how it went from that resolution to wanting moments, that is crazy to me.
That's the reunion.
And I'm telling you, I remember going back with my team from the stage, and the one word I kept saying was delusional. 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 These folks delusional. That's all I can say. They delusional. Oh my gosh. How do we have conversations and there's resolution and then you get up here and act a different way? Totally different. And again, I say that is why there is no, y'all don't witness resolution. It's not because, Melody likes to keep up mess and Melody likes to da-da-da. No, it's because you got some people who wanted promotions, more checks, or whatever the case may be, who are choosing to try to keep a mess. Like, who are choosing to, I need to have an issue with Mel on camera, who are choosing to do that. Because there's also a recording.
Sunni didn't say that everybody came for Melody and she had a hard time. Because I do remember the live. I think she deletes some of her lives, but I do remember that. I'm not making that up, child. That happened.
Of someone on this show being told that they're not, because I inquired where they're going to a scene.
Exactly.
Being told that they are on ice. And if you're in TV, on ice means like we're not putting you in nothing right now. That they're on ice is quiet, in other words. That they're on ice because they appear to be a male supporter and a millimeter supporter. Now, my team thought I was going to quit that day because we all heard it. And they thought I was going to quit that day. Because then it became, you know how when you're thinking something and you kind of think you know something, but then it's kind of different whenever you really hear it. Like, you really hear it, that becomes a whole different thing. That becomes a whole different thing. Just like how you might be like, I think my man cheating. But then if you see your man cheating or you see your woman cheating, it's a whole different thing. And now I've been sitting back and I see it and it all just makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense.
So she's saying that it was production that put the battery in the back and that outside of that, they were fine and she would have rather just dealt with the resolution side. I understand that sometimes these people's feelings get hurt on these reunions because the reunion can be messy. I think it was just the last reunion with RHOA. What happened when it was who is it? It was Candy, Burris, and who else? Sheree. It was Sheree because Candy said something about you bought that body, bitch, or something like that. Not saying that that's the situation with Melody, okay? But remember she said that, and then Sheree stood up and was like this, and she was screaming on her and stuff. People might have asked people to do certain things to see if they was going to get one of those moments, because Candy kept saying, you know, Candy and Sheree went at each other because Candy accused her of having some work done. I remember that. Okay. So that's pretty much it for that part. But I hate this for them. I do. But Melody is saying that she feels like she was beat up on and attacked. She does not like it.
Trish. Never met Trish, had never heard of her. Didn't know anything about her. The first time I heard of issue, or not even issue, but the conspiracy stuff was on the girls' trip. I had never heard about it before. Nobody had said anything to me about it. So I sat there and listened. And I'll be real with y'all, I didn't care. And that's why I just sat there and listened. Because I didn't care. I didn't care. I felt like...
Just so y'all know, this was my perspective about Melody and Trisha. I said there's no way Melody and Trisha would be friends. Not in real life. They're not in real life. If they film together, that's one thing. But I don't think that these two would fool each other, period, on any level. And now that Melody knows that, you know, there was a possibility Martell was trying to mess around with Trisha, whether you believe he actually did it or not, I said I still don't think she would fool with Trisha. I just don't. But this is what she had to say. That was my opinion.
Whatever happened after I left April 4th, 2020, I don't care. I don't care. So I sat there with no expression because I didn't care. Now, considering she was on a trip of mine, still, do I feel like there could have been a, hey, look, I just want you to know these are some conversations happening amongst this group. I know you invited me on the trip. Matter of fact, the night I invited people on the trip at the food tasting, I actually was kind of defending her and Ken, if you remember. I don't know if y'all remember that scene. I was kind of defending them. So, I mean, I didn't care. But could there have been a, hey, girl, just a heads up, this is what's going on?
What did I say in my review? Girl, where's the heads up? Don't go on the trip without giving a heads up. I said it.
Nothing happened or something did happen, but it was this time. I don't want no beef. Let's just be cool. All right, bet. That didn't happen. Could that have happened? Yeah, but other than that, I didn't care. So let's get to the scene when she's questioned. Because I'm going to get this out today, and I'm telling you, I'm not doing this every day at all. So the girl trip happens. She left early. Let me ask y'all this, because I don't know if it aired or not. Did y'all see a scene where Trisha and I met up after the girls trip at a bakery shop?
The Scorpio inquisition. The Scorpio inquisition.
Let me pull my receipt while y'all drop it in the chat. Did y'all see the scene at all where me and Trish met up at a bakery shop after the girls trip, like right after the girls trip when we got back to Alabama? Yeah, I haven't grilled that girl. If I can be real with y'all, at Nell's party, the person who asked the most questions was Kimmy and them. I asked a couple, but I didn't know her. So, and I didn't even know the whole scandal part of it, so I didn't know. So they did air me and Trish at the bakery shop? Oh, okay, good. Well, I got to show y'all the receipts. So at that scene, don't know what all they showed. But when she tried to even bring up my ex, then I said, girl, hopefully they showed you. I was like, girl, I do not care. Look, we ain't got to talk about that. She asked me some advice of going from corporate and being an entrepreneur and wanting to open this gym and balancing that all and being a mommy with busy kids, doing this, that, and the other. It was a whole conversation. And I gave her some advice.
Now, they did not show us that part, but I don't have any reason to not believe it. I think that would be true because she told us she wanted to move into being an entrepreneur. So that makes sense.
Gave her some advice. And when she tried to get into the X of it all, I was like, girl, we ain't got it. Girl, we do not have to talk about that. Girl, no. I don't know if y'all are talking about the scene I'm talking about. Not the one where I questioned her about my house and what it looked like. Not that one. Ooh, this might be good. Because I see somebody just said something that made me think about that one. I'm not talking about that one. Have you guys seen two scenes with Trisha and I by ourselves?
Okay, so we only got one scene with Trisha by herself. And so Messy NKY, I told you that I've had a friendship with a Scorpio for well over 30 years. I remember before her mother passing away, she said that I was the only person who could talk to her daughter, and help her see like a bigger picture in things. Because she said, my daughter will run with stuff. She said, and not a whole lot of people can come in and help guide her into a different direction. And if y'all watch my interview with Melody's mother, I said to her mama, child, does it scare you? Does it scare you when you see Melody make some of her decisions? Because when we're watching her on screen, she does stuff that people don't typically do. And her mom said, she's always been like that. There's not a whole lot I can do. It is what it is. And so that's why I was laughing, because I said she reminded me of my friend. But I understand not everybody is strong enough to say, hey, this ain't right, or this is what you need to do, or why don't you sit on it for a second?
2, at a bakery shop. Canadian said gave her the blueprint. They just showed the one about me asking about my house. So see, y'all didn't get the bakery scene. Oh, let's go to it. See, now we get somewhere. So y'all didn't see that one. You see the scandal of it all, the painting of the picture of it all.
So listen, they didn't edit her to make her look like the villain. That's why I said, she said she didn't watch the season. If she go watch the season, she would see she didn't look like a villain at all. In fact, I think most people probably liked her even more because of the shit that we saw Martell do against everybody else, and how he was just he's cuckoo cuckoo, like standing there talking to the guys and telling people, I still miss Melody, I want my relationship back. All of that actually brought home how the shit Melody's dealing with, in my opinion. But I think that, it's hard to pick those receipts up. Hold on.
Let me pull up the receipt. I think I already texted this one to this phone. So y'all didn't see that one. Only one. No, there was one before that one. Guys, right after the trip.
Martell looked more insane. Right, he actually validated everything that Melody has ever said about him.
So this one was
this half of the season.
Y'all know the girls trip was in March. This was April the 5th. Friday, April 5th, Melody, call time 4:30. The location is the Moon Bake Shop. Let's pull it up and y'all can tell me if y'all saw it. The Moon Bake Shop. So y'all didn't see that one? Dang. Wow, they wanted it to be a problem with me and that girl so bad, didn't they? Dang. Maybe because I didn't give a care in the scene. I was like, girl, Girl, I do not care about that. Maybe Melody, the next week I had this scene. This scene, I was cool, good. She tried to bring up the situation with my ex. I said, girl, I don't care nothing about that. You ain't got to explain that to me. The past is past. I don't care. That's my ex. I do not care, okay? Gave her some advice. She asked me about balancing and being a mom and all that. Like I just told y'all, did all that. Gave her some advice. And hey, I said, SD, no, I see you. And so, anyway, did that. Scene was fine. And then I had another scene after that where it was look, we can't seem to get the truth out of this girl. Because, again, let's be clear. I'm one of the strongest characters on the show. Actually, I'll say I'm the strongest character on the show. And how...
What did I say on Sunday? Did I say that the lady is the strongest person on the show? Again, this is a person she does not know has really, if you had to choose to like her or dislike her, I would think that Melody would dislike her. But she said, F it. She had a task. They told her to get some answers out of her. And that is when we get the Scorpio inquisition. And the only thing, even though Melody's like, I just did it for the TV show, the only thing that Trisha could have done to win this situation would have been to pack her shit and go. She would have had to ask for a doggy bag the same way Tisha did. When Tisha said, can I get my order to go? Can I get my order to go? That's the only way that what's her name would have been able to win in this scene, if she would have just got her order to go.
For a long time. So we can't seem to get full answers. This time frame is just, we're getting different things. Can you try to get the facts? I was like, okay, sure, not a problem. Sure. So then you see me sitting there smiling and asking questions. So what color was it? So at nighttime, so did it mean a deer? You said almost hit a deer. Oh, deer come out at night, girl. It must have been nighttime. What about the driveway? Was it a long driveway? Was it a steep driveway? Well, what road did you go down? I mean,
listen, Melody's trying to make that scene seem like it was very lighthearted, and it was not. It was not. She came for that girl's throat. That she was sitting there sweating and stumbling, child. That shit was hilarious.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, it was funny to me. I'm not gonna lie.
It was funny to us too.
Baby, I was cracking up the whole way to wherever I went to eat after that. Because that's usually what I'm gonna do after scene. I'm gonna eat some good food. But literally, it was like I had already had a scene where I didn't even want to talk about it and didn't care at the Moon Bake Shop. But typically, they do go to the strongest people. You can ask any, if you have friends or you know people on reality TV, ask them. They're going to go to the strongest person to get the answers to stuff they can't get the answers from nobody else.
And mind you, how many people asked the same question? Nell Fletcher had a one-on-one with her. Kimmy had a one-on-one with her. Kimmy took the bone back to Melody. Who else? I think maybe even Tisha had a one-on-one with Trish. So, Stormy had a one-on-one. Destiny had one. Everybody had a one-on-one with Trisha about this relationship.
Just how it goes. It's what happens when you're the reality TV queen. Right? So, all right, let me go ahead and have some little fun with this girl. Gonna ask these questions. So, girl, what color was the house? Which house was that? Oh, that was the lighter house, the dark house. Did you go up by the hospital? No, not really. Okay. Well, how was the driveway?
Child, at the end of the day, them questions were real to me. I didn't think it was a joke. I don't even think you were acting. I do think that you were asking because you were enjoying watching her squirm. So that is how I feel. I know Melody is trying to clean it up now, but I don't necessarily think that was the case when it was going down. Okay. That shit was funny. And people are asking, why is Trish coming back? Because Trish and Ken owned the season. They had their moment. If it wasn't for Moses going back to jail, it could have probably still stayed focused on Destiny and Moses and Sunni. But when Moses was gone, all attention went to Kenneth and Trisha. And all the way, they closed it out. They got the finale. Okay. So yeah, they're leading. And I know people keep saying they don't like them, but baby, they got everybody's attention. Marquez has been on more interviews in the last month than he has his entire life. Okay.
I told her then that at first I don't know her to have a problem with her. I don't know her. She said about me, I don't know what all aired. And I was like, oh, bet. Shoot. I just made up my mind, I don't like her. You know, I didn't, but okay, bet then. I don't like her either then, you know. So then that happened. But remember.
And she's keeping that part light because that's not what she said. That's not what she said. She said, if anybody should have a problem, it should be me. That bitch was in my house, effing my husband, is what she said, child. That's funny, but I love it. I love it.
I went to the barbecue. And what's interesting to me, again, they decided to title one of the reunion episodes, Melody's Double Standards. Again, I've never told them not to talk about nothing about social media pertaining to me. So how is it a double standard that I'm asking social media topic questions? It's not a double standard. So somebody needs to work on who writing, whoever is writing, they need to work on that. So at the bachelorette party, it became I was messy when I said, y'all act like y'all y'all might still love each other, and how that was so messy. Well, let's rewind, and y'all tell me if y'all saw this or not, or played it. Because remember, I told you I ain't watched no episodes this season in full, so I don't know. I may go. No, I'm not. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna go back and watch this shit. I ain't even gonna tell y'all no story. But y'all tell me if this aired or not. Y'all can tell me if this aired or not. At the barbecue, I went in to go to the little area to fix me a plate. Then Trisha ends up in there, and Marquez is in there. Well, Marquez walks in, and there's this whole weird exchange between them, and I'm just looking. I'm like, ooh, triggers. Seem like you trigger right now. Oh, and I'm eating. Y'all know I love to eat, so you know, just eating and doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, in that room where the food was, Trish says to me, out the blue. So it becomes interesting when people say that me saying that was so messy, because this happened before I ever said, seemed like y'all still love each other. Trish out the blue says to me, I know your ex-baby. I know your ex's baby mama. And she said the girl's name. And I looked, and I was like, okay. Yeah, and I can't remember if she said that Ken is from Ohio or...
So just an FYI, she said, I'm surprised people would think that's messy when she did something that she thought was just as messy by saying, I know your ex-husband's baby mama. She didn't like that shit. And she's telling us this right now. I didn't like it. I don't appreciate her coming to me with any of that. Or why would she even think that was cool to put on screen? So she's letting us know that part. She said, basically, if I did punch at her, she punched at me first.
I think she said I'm from Ohio. Either Ken's from Ohio. Did they show that when she said that to me? Yeah, one thing I'm gonna do is eat. Out the blue, she says this to me, and I was like, I don't know if she's supposed to be putting me on the spot or if she's supposed to be whatever. I don't know. And I was like, okay, all right. So later, you got a big problem with me because I said it seemed like y'all still love each other. Now, that's a double standard to me. When you feel like you can kind of throw some stuff out there and be shady, but you don't want nobody to be in the game and play with you. So, I don't remember who. I don't think, unless, because I think Trish went to high school here. So, unless Trish moved here from Ohio at some point, again, I don't know these people, right?
Yeah, so she is basically saying that at the end of the day, she said Trish threw the first punch. So if she took that shit a certain way, it is what it is. I'm not even upset because, again, at the end of the day, I don't know how I don't think anybody thought that was her being a villain. I think that people was like, who expected Melody and Trisha to be friends? No one.
Okay, so we all got mutual friends, and I said, okay. No big deal. So what, right? I was like, okay. But then you got all this smoke because I said it seemed like y'all still love each other. But now I'm just so messy, and I'm so... And that is why y'all at the Bachelorette, my thing is like, well, if I'm messy, everybody up in here is messy. Everybody being is messy. Like, what? You want to bring up a mistress from my prior marriage talking about you know her out the blue and y'all from the same spot or your boyfriend from the same spot, whatever it was. But I'm messy, girl. Everybody messy then. Everybody messy. So that is how that happened. Y'all didn't hear that? Oh. Like I said, maybe because she said the girl's name, because she definitely said her name.
Okay. If they would have played it and bleeped out that girl's name, it would have been all hell to pay.
A table on a girl's trip, I just sat there like, okay. Met with you after that, gave you some advice.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Y'all get the gist of it. But anyway, I don't know. I am a people watcher. I love to see reactions of people. I told y'all that was a part of my job, is to really get to the knit and grit of shit. And that's what I do. That's why I like doing my job here over on the YouTube. I like to think that I don't just have y'all out here windmilling for anything. or windmilling at all. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying? The people that follow me, you know, I don't want to get anybody's blood pressure up. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Just try to give y'all a different perspective on things. So this was just the two. I think she also talked about her relationship with Nell Fletcher. And then she's also going to talk about Destiny and Carlos King. I'm going to bring that to an in another live because that it's too long. We're already too far in. And I didn't cut this up. So I'll do that in a different live, okay? No, Trisha's mad that Marquez was crushing on Mel and brought her flowers to her event. Okay. I know a lot of people have been saying that stuff. I can't even say. I don't hate Trisha. I actually liked Trisha. But I do think the way they ended the show, even though I did see some comments that she made where she said that the edit she got was completely wrong and she was really upset about it. But yeah, that's what happens on these TV shows, not just the OWN, Bravo, all of them. They all do the same thing. But anyway, that's it. That's all. I want to just make sure that Destiny is still alive because baby, yesterday there was pitchforks and all kinds of fire. People were coming for her. Okay, about to take her down. And it was written in the thing. It was just the writing of it. That's it. But outside of that, y'all, we're wrapping it up, child, because this was a lot going on, But I do appreciate every single one of you guys for coming through and supporting my channel today. And I know that y'all have already heard this shit probably 3, 4, 5 times already, but I appreciate all of you who came back to support me. I hope that I said something different, or you know what I'm saying? Open your mind to something different. Thank you to Don Michelle. Thank you to Diego for coming through. Thank you to all of my moderators and everyone who blessed the channel, y'all. You are the real MVPs. And of course, all of you who joined, all of my supporters, including the newbies. Okay. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Follow me on all my platforms and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.